We got Rico Verhoeven joining us now via the magic of Skype. Rico, my friend, how are you?
Yes, what's up, Ariel? It's been a while.
It has been a while. Well, congratulations on this fight. This is a big-time fight, Rico. You know this, right? You versus Alistair, the two worlds colliding, the two most famous, dare I say, most famous Dutch kickboxers of all time coming together. I mean, I know there have been a ton of others, but this is a really big deal. You guys colliding October 23rd. What are your feelings, emotions about this fight getting done?
100%. 100%. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Of course, I want to congratulate Alistair on getting the fight, because this is the fight that actually everybody wants. So and not everybody gets. So I think it's a huge deal for him. Yeah, for me it's just another day at the office, so it's going to be fun.
I like this, Rico. You're congratulating Alistair on getting the lottery ticket that
Day at the office, so it's going to be fun.
I like this, Rico. You're congratulating Alistair on getting the lottery ticket that is Rico Verhoeven. They had to ask you, like, did you feel, hey, you know what, Alistair? You haven't fought in kickboxing in, 11 years? Maybe you should go fight someone first and then fight for the belt. How did this whole, the whole process, how did it all play out?
No, like, I'm not really like able to say or do anything about it. Just Glory just suggests or tells me like, hey, we're trying to get Alistair to fight you. So yeah, just so you know. And all I say is, let's go. I'm here anyway. So
is this a dream fight for you?
Is this a dream fight? Yeah, it is a name that I like to have on the list.
Okay. I mean, this
I like
is
to add.
Right. I would imagine.
So many guys in Glory, and I think he's a very good add-on to the Glory roster.
Do you feel like it's a little ambitious on his part, that he's maybe biting off a little more than he can chew? He hasn't competed in about 11 years in kickboxing, and now he is coming to fight you, arguably the greatest Glory heavyweight champion of all time, the king right now. I mean, that's a big jump, no?
Yeah, you're definitely right. But yeah, I think that's the fighter mentality and the fighter heart that he has. And, he's been fighting for so long. So from my part, I think he knows what he's getting into.
Okay. What did you make of his last few fights in the UFC prior to coming over to Glory?
I think, yeah, they weren't the best. But, yeah, it could be so many things. Maybe just done with MMA, or couldn't get motivated anymore, or I don't know. But I wasn't like really impressed with his performances in the UFC. But of course, he had like some ups and downs. So he definitely had some good ups, and the last few were some downs. But yeah, it happens.
What is your relationship like with Alistair?
Yeah, we're okay. We're not like hostile or something. It's like yeah, we say hi, we say like, how are you, whatever. But we're just like, we're not best friends, but just respect him. Definitely respect him as an athlete.
You trained together in the past a little bit, no?
Yeah, he asked me to help him in his camp versus Bigfoot, like back in the day.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. But I came from I think that was my first year trying to become Glory World Champion, and I lost with my only loss in Glory versus Sammy Shields. So it was like, I think 3 weeks later or something, Alistair flew me in to help him out. So I wasn't like 100%, but that was fun. So we get like used to each other, like spar a little bit, hang around, and yeah, that was good.
So you did actually spar him.
Yeah.
And obviously no one talks about what happened there, but it's interesting that that you actually went toe to toe with him. When this fight was presented to you, of all the options, I would imagine this was probably the most interesting one, right? I mean, you had the Badr Hari fight. I mean, like there's not a ton of big names like Alistair available, and especially one that could sell this many tickets. This would seem like a no-brainer, correct?
Yeah, 100%. So for me, actually, Ariel, I got to be honest, to whatever Glory throws at me, I always say yes. I never decline. I never decline the fight.
Really?
Only thing, no, really. Only thing I tell him, like, a fight has to make sense.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense, like a nobody or a no name or whatever. That doesn't make any sense, because the people here, they want to see me fight, and they want to see me fight names they know and the people they know. So then there's like a hype we can build up, and I think that's what it's all about. Because next to us fighting, we got to keep in mind that we're entertainers. People want to be entertained.
Do you feel like right now this could, like, how big of a deal do you think this is going to be? Because I was asking Alistair, who's the bigger name in the Netherlands right now, you or him? He said you. He said you do a lot of great media, you know, you're a good-looking guy, you present yourself very well, and that, you know, this could be billed as, you know, legend against the current champ. Like, I feel like they're going to sell these tickets very easily. Do you feel like this is going to be a big, big deal over in the Netherlands?
Yeah, 100%. Because, you know, Alistair left his mark on combat sports in his total, and his so he did kickboxing and strike force. He did it all. He was everywhere. So people know him. So especially with that in the back of our minds, is that it's a perfect match.
Do you feel like the history now with Badr Hari, do you feel like it helped elevate you? Did you get what you wanted out of fighting him? Do you feel like you're now a bigger star because of the history with him now? That was a fight that, you know, people were talking about, you versus Badr Hari, for forever.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that was a fight like people were talking about, because I think Alistair already put on the tip a little bit. Like, it was like a bit of good guy versus the bad guy.
Right.
Well, like, for me, I don't really see Badr as a bad guy, but just like that's what the public opinion became. And that's like, they just put him in those shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that make like the total hype. It's like a movie script, good versus bad, and then bam, it just explodes. So that was, yeah, of course, that was perfect. That was perfect. And yeah, we did what we had to do. So yeah, on to the next.
You mentioned at the beginning of the interview, you know, we hadn't talked in a while. I think the last time we spoke, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the last time we spoke was when you were transitioning to MMA. You were trying out MMA. But that didn't last very long. Why didn't you continue with MMA?
Because I got an amazing offer from Glory. And then, yeah, I was like, okay, this is like an offer I can't refuse. So yeah, so that was, for me, that was good. And then I just decided, let's just keep on kickboxing and stay at our craft, and we're good at what we're doing. So yeah,
so
that was that.
You're currently 32. Do you think you will ever try MMA again, or are you content if the rest of your career is just fighting for Glory, doing the kickboxing thing?
Yeah, never say never. I'm always like open, but to be really honest, it's like, I don't think I know it's not my ambition anymore to be an MMA fighter. So, and I think that's a really important key in what you do in life. What you do and what you want has to be your passion. And if I would transition to MMA, I would want to be, really from the heart, want to be the best. And if that's not the case, then you'll never be successful in what you're doing.
Why do you think, you know, sometimes we have these conversations where it's like, oh, Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury, Stipe Miocic against, you know, Anthony Joshua, whatever. I feel like, I actually feel like you versus one of these guys, like a crossover kickboxing versus boxing match, might even be closer and more interesting, especially if promoted the right way and whatnot. Has that ever been discussed? You trying to fight one of these, you know, boxing champions in boxing?
Yeah, it's funny. Of course, I've worked a lot with Tyson Fury some time ago, and yeah, we definitely discussed it. Like, but it was more as a fun thing. But yeah, I would definitely be interested for that. So because back then I knew we were talking about, I was helping him doing some kickboxing, he was helping me with boxing, so I was helping him with the kicks. So that was fun. That was fun. So that would definitely interest me.
How do you see this fight against Alistair playing out?
Well, what I like about how Alistair approaches the fight game is he's very technical, and he looks for the weak spots, and yeah, like I said, he just approaches like very technically, and he comes with a game plan, and that's what I love, because that's what I do with the exact same way. So I think it's going to be game plan versus game plan. So in the beginning, it's going to be a little bit like trying to play around, and I'm just going to like put the pressure on him and show him that we're on a different level. And it's fun that like back in the day, he did pretty good in kickboxing, but those days are over. It's just my era now.
Oh, I love it. I love it. This is great stuff. Did you watch that Grand Prix when he won back in 2010?
Yeah, of course.
I wasn't sure, if you were, I don't know, doing something else, whatever. I mean, that was pretty historic stuff. And then he comes over to MMA and
my whole life. So I've been fighting since I've been 6 years old. So I've been like following the game since almost from birth.
So this has to be kind of surreal, no? I mean, Alistair Overeem from your same country, fighting him, massive stadium. This is a really big deal. I know you've had these big fights before, but at least here in the States, like he's a bigger name than Badr Hari. Like I feel like this is the kind of fight that could maybe help cross you over to the States, right? I mean, this is a really big deal.
Yeah. 100%. You're right, because that's what we love to do, especially with Glory now. We just like to expand and do more stuff, and I'm so happy that during COVID, Glory was able to still make it happen and even have people attending. And I think that's amazing, because the beginning of the year I also did a tournament, a 4-man tournament, and it was like no people. It was like quiet. It was like
weird, right?
Really strange. But yeah, weird. But still, we did it, and now we have in Arnhem the Gelderdome, and it's going to be around 27,000. It's going to be like filled like 70%. So everybody like COVID tested and whatever. So it's I think it's amazing that they're doing such a good job, and especially like you said, for here, Europe and everything. I'm a huge star. I'm doing really good. Over there in the US, of course, because of the UFC, Alistair is the bigger name. So I think this is a perfect way to just like blend everything together.
By the way, before I let you go, what needs to happen? What has to happen for kickboxing to get at least somewhat more popular in the United States? Why? Like, it's still strange to me. MMA has enjoyed all the success. Boxing, of course, pro wrestling. Like, it's the only one that for some reason doesn't break through. Why? And what has to happen?
I think the most important reason is, from my opinion, is just the stand-up level in the US isn't the same as the European level. I think that comes from either boxing, and then you just learn a little bit of wrestling, so it's easier to go to MMA. And if you do a little bit if you already do wrestling, for example, in high school, you do a little bit of boxing, you can go to MMA. But kickboxing is like a totally different discipline. And yeah, like I said, it's a whole different way of approaching the fight game. So, and I think from that, there's just not too many people just putting the hours in to just learn the craft. Just learn the craft and just keep beating that craft and getting better at it. So I think that's the biggest problem. I think the level is getting better, because a lot of what you see in UFC, a lot of guys they want to see the same with the people, with the audience watching, is they want to see the stand-up game. And that's what we do at Glory. We're the biggest stand-up combat organization there is.
Yeah.
So there's non-stop action, and that's what you see in the UFC when they're on the ground or grappling too long. When you understand what's happening during grappling, you like to watch it. Like, oh, he's got to watch out for this or that. But if you don't understand it, you just want to see people stand up and just fight. So, and that's what we do at Glory.
And that's why I'm surprised it still hasn't at least reached some level of success compared to MMA. Because people are always clamoring for just the stand-up.
100%. But we just, I think the American audience just want to see American fighters when they fight in kickboxing to win.
Yeah.
And they win when they fight each other or whatever. But when they get European guys, it's a totally different level, and they get their asses whooped, and then they think like it's not fun to if you don't win, because in the end we got to be honest. Everybody wants his own country. When we watch the Olympics or whatever, everybody wants their own country to win, right?
Sure, but again, and I agree with you. I think that actually applies to hockey. Like they want to root for Americans, not Europeans and stuff. But like you see Conor McGregor, European. You see guys like Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre, Canadian, Anderson, Brazilian. There have been non-Americans who have reached a great level of success in America, right? I mean, Kamaru Usman. But yet for some reason in kickboxing, I don't know what's been the issue.
Yeah, I think the sport is just too small there yet. It's just, the sport isn't like exploded. It's like because of I think it's a thing that goes hand in hand with the UFC, like just growing up and blowing up with Brock Lesnar as the American, and a lot of other guys doing really good. And then of course it's growing, and then we have other guys from different countries coming in, and then they root for everybody. So I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of those two things. And yeah, let's just hope that the whole kickboxing scene blows up in the US as well. And I would love to be there. I fought a few times I even defended my title a few times in the US, in LA, in New York. So we've been around, but like you said, it isn't as big as here, because here we sell out like 30,000 in a crazy arena, 30,000 people easy.
And for this fight, October 23rd, full capacity.
No, 70%.
70%. All right. Well, that's still going to be great. I look forward to it. I can't wait. October 23rd, the legend Alistair Overeem against the legend Rico Verhoeven. The Glory Heavyweight Championship on the line. Glory Collision 3 is the name of the event. Rico, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. Good luck to you. Can't wait for the fight. Thanks for jumping on.
Thank you for your time, Ariel, and always good talking to you.
Yes, sir. There he is, the reigning, defending Glory Heavyweight Champion, the one and only Rico Verhoeven, kind enough to join us. And that's a big-time fight.